what's going on? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I want to say what's up to everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. I want to come in for a little bit and talk about this thing called artificial intelligence. I'm really intrigued by artificial intelligence. Some of you have been following what's been going on with Chat GPT. Some of you have seen what's been going on with Microsoft. And you may have read the articles about all the jobs that are being taken by artificial intelligence. And I think it's very important that you not just be artificially intelligent. I encourage you to be genuinely intelligent and to be black and intelligent in terms of preparing for the future. And that's B1. So B1, if you agree with that philosophy, put a B1 in the chat. I want to first say hello to everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. And let's just hop right into it. Okay, so hit the thumbs up button as you come in. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Shout out the city that you're from. Let me know what city you're from. What's going on, Keith Baker and Yoshika, Stolen Jam? What's happening? All right, and what's going on Instagram? My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. Now, on my Instagram, The Real Boyce Watkins, I put a list earlier today of 10 jobs that they claim are going to be taken by artificial intelligence. The AI is here. It was adopted faster than I thought. I was really surprised by how quickly the message got out. But AI is here. It's being developed in a rapid sequence in a way where it's sort of integrating with a lot of other technologies like robots. I don't know if you guys know, Amazon is actually built. I think Amazon is buying 1,000 robots a day. Now I want you to process that: 1,000 robots a day. So pretty soon Amazon will have more robots than people. Amazon's going to have more robots than people pretty soon. So now, why is that? Well, the understanding I have of capitalism says that the goal of the corporation is to minimize the costs of doing business, right? So at Amazon, what were their biggest challenges? Their biggest problem was they had worker grievances. They had workers that were mad because they had to pee in a bottle and didn't get enough lunch breaks, didn't have time to go to the bathroom. Well, robots don't pee. Robots don't need a break. Robots don't sleep. Robots don't ask for raises. Robots don't try to unionize. So a lot of the manual labor jobs, and this is important for Black people to understand, a lot of the manual labor jobs are going to be gone. They're going to design robots that will do almost every single job that requires either repetition or jobs that are boring, jobs that require a lot of physical labor, or jobs that are just dangerous, right? So if you're preparing your kids for a career, I think it's very, very important for you to be extremely thoughtful about how you prepare them. And here's the thing. AI isn't just replacing, AI and robots combined. I'm talking about them sort of as one unit, because the AI in the robot is what makes the robot into a person, right? The AI inside of a person. Like, so imagine if you were talking to an AI Boyce Watkins, and imagine if this were 100 years in the future, or not 100 years, let's say 30 years in the future, and the robot could move fluidly like me and talk like me and simulate my voice and just be me, right? This is the world you're living in. This is the brave new world that is on its way. Your kids will be in this world. So it's not just manual labor jobs that are being taken by AI. Other jobs like coding computers. How many of you have seen people where they say, oh, we got to teach our kids how to code. We got to teach them how to program computers, right? Like, that's kind of a big deal. But Chat GPT can write code better than a person. Do you hear what I'm saying? Chat GPT can write code better than a person. So, if you are going into coding, you better learn how to code. You better make sure your kids learn how to code the AI robot or something, because Chat GPT writes code and goes through code better than a person can. And because I've written a lot of computer code. When I was doing my dissertation, that's all we did was write computer programs all day. It is a dreary, like, tiring process. It does require some creativity, a lot of testing and stuff like that. And you got to go through line by line of code to find out where you made a mistake, where you didn't put the semicolon and all this other crap. And robots can do that much more efficiently than humans. So even coding, you might think, oh, well, I don't have to worry about it. I'm a computer programmer. No, that's gonna go. So anyway, what I'm gonna do for you guys is read a list of some of the jobs that you may want to be careful about in terms of jobs that are expected to be replaced by artificial intelligence. This is actually expected to happen within the next few years. And then also, I'm going to give, if you stay to the end, I'll give you a list of some stocks that I actually bought to take advantage of the AI boom. The best way to take advantage of capitalism is to get some capital. I'm not saying capitalism is good. I'm not saying that it's a wonderful system. I'm saying that if you want to be prepared, just know there are certain companies that are going to triple, quadruple, and quintuple in value, that are going to shoot up in value faster than your house. And it's because of AI. So you want to get in this stuff early. You don't want to wait till it's late, because by then you'll be losing money. You won't be making money. You want to get in there early. So if you stick to the end, I'll give you a couple stocks that I was looking at today. All right, and actually, in fact, if you go to boycewatkins.com, if you want to just skip the chase, you can actually go to my website right now, boycewatkins.com, and just see a whole list. I got about 9 stocks that are going to benefit from AI. So just go to boycewatkins.com, or if you're on Instagram, just hit the link in the bio. It's already right there. So you don't even have to listen to me go through what I'm going to go through. All right. So here's some other jobs that AI is expected to replace. One is, we mentioned coding, content creation. There's a company called CNET that writes articles, and it turns out that about 10, I think they said 70-80% of their articles now are being written by AI right now, right? And they laid off 10% of their workforce. They say it has nothing to do with the AI. I think that's BS. It's AI BS. That's what it is, right? And so content creation, video creation, video production, stuff like that. You got to be real careful. Maybe the understanding of AI can allow you to be a better video or content creator, because I know some of you are videographers and you edit content for other people. Maybe you make music. Just so you know, AI can make a hit song. AI can make a great rap song. AI can make a good ass country song. AI can make a good rock and roll song. Everything comes down to algorithms and repetition. 50 Cent tapped into that about maybe 20 years ago, where he went up to Wharton or University of Pennsylvania and talked to some professor who said, I know the formula for a hit rap song. And he just gave him the formula, told him exactly how to do it, and he did, right? So all this stuff is very formulaic. Anything that's formulaic and predictable in that way, AI has probably figured it out. So a lot of the music now is being done with AI. In fact, you may not know this, but there's actually an AI rapper, not just one or two, there's actually several now that know how to, when you're programmed, pay attention now. Remember, this music and this media, it programs us, right? We're programmed. My wife is an expert on the subconscious mind. She's a therapist. She says that the subconscious mind is programmed by trauma, symbolism, and repetition. So the repetition in the music is your programming. So anything that's programmed can be replicated by a computer program, right? So they can see, sort of the formula in the music, and they now have AI rappers. So just know that anything that's like sort of seen as creative, even art, they know how to create a Rembrandt or a Van Gogh painting or a Da Vinci. They know how to. The AI is like, oh, I got this. I can do all that, right? So it's changing a lot of everything. I mean, it's changing everything. The fact that I can get on an app right now and create a Da Vinci painting and tell the AI, make me a Da Vinci right now. And it'll spit out some stuff where if I show it to an expert, the expert won't know that it's not real, that it was done by a computer. That's heavy. That's a big deal. So let's keep going. What else? Legal work. A lot of the work that's done by what they call them, paralegals and all that, and writing legal briefs. Oh, AI can do that. A computer was actually able to write a legal brief that was able to get accepted by the bar. Like they were a computer. They asked the computer to write up a legal brief or whatever for a case, and they submitted it, and it worked. So now a lot of attorneys will be fired. A lot of paralegals are going to be fired. A lot of the people doing the grunt work in law firms are going to be fired because they found AI that is able to actually do. I said by the bar, but I mean by the court, whatever. I don't know the language. I'm not a lawyer, so forgive me. I applied to law school, actually. I got accepted into Fordham Law School in New York, but I didn't want to be a lawyer. I don't think I would have enjoyed that. Also, translators. That's easy. I mean, I have Google Translate on my phone. When I went to China, I was able to communicate with everybody by talking. I'd say, I can't find the bathroom. It's really funny to me that every time you go to a restaurant, the bathroom's always in the back. So why are the bathrooms in the back? That doesn't make any sense. And then I would play it to the guy, and he would go, Jane Jones, blah, 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 blah. And the guy would start laughing, right? He would hear what I was saying. So translator, that's already been done. AI is going to pretty much do that. Teacher, this surprised me. They said actually teaching. They said Chat GPT can actually teach classes now. That's bad. They'll probably do a better job than Chicago Public Schools, because I don't know if y'all saw, Chicago Public Schools is the only city that has the distinction of having 55 schools without one child in the entire school that can read or do math at grade level. Just so you know. So teachers, a lot of teachers will be replaced by artificial intelligence, which is also an opportunity for those of you that are ahead of the curve. That means, really, honestly, you have no excuse to be, to be able to teach your own kids. There's so much stuff out there. In fact, I have a friend that has a site called The History Adventure, thehistoryadventure.com. So feel free to write that down, thehistoryadventure.com. And she teaches all these classes on Black history and stuff like that. That's really, really good. And one of the things I mentioned to her was, I said, there's this whole debate about critical race theory and whether or not we're going to allow Black history and critical race theory to be taught in public schools. Well, I don't really care if it's taught in public schools, to be honest with you, because I don't want a white person teaching me my history. No disrespect if you're white. I don't hate white people. I don't dislike anybody. I just love myself, and I need accurate information. So anyway, her website's thehistoryadventure.com, and she has a lot of these little curriculums on various forms of, the kinds of history that you don't learn in school, like ancient Egypt and sub-Saharan Africa and all kinds of great stuff. So it's thehistoryadventure.com. Her name's Sherry Mitchell. So moving on, the next thing I want to mention is, don't forget, I'll be in Los Angeles next week for the Black Wealth Bootcamp. So if you want to fly in, feel free to go to boycewatkins.com, and you can still get a pass. We have a few more left, so feel free to join us in LA. It's 2 days of deep dive training. I'm going to go through my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, which is basically 10 rules that, if applied properly, will create like massive generational wealth. It'll put you right ahead of the curve, right on top of everything, and it'll really set your kids straight. So this is what I know. This is what I do. This is what I specialize in. I'd love to teach you in person. So if you'd like to teach me in person, shake my hand, give me a hug, all that stuff, just go to boycewatkins.com. I will be in LA. All right, so let's move on. Okay, what else? Other jobs that will be replaced by AI. Market research. They said market research, that things that involve looking at trends and predicting trends. Oh, AI got that covered. In a few years, there won't be a job in that area. Even they said financial advisors. Even the people that can give you advice on which stocks to pick and how to set up your portfolio. I've known this for a long time. A lot of this is formulaic and analytical, and a robot could do it. Actually, I showed you guys, if you came to class in the Black Business School, most of the Black Business School students know that there was a book written in 1971 by Burton Malkiel called A Random Walk Down Wall Street that showed even a monkey can invest and make more money than a person who doesn't invest. Literally, investing, for all the people that are scared to invest and like, oh, it's too complicated, whatever, that's because they give you complicated terminology. But Burton Malkiel actually taught a monkey how to invest, and the monkey made more money than the people who didn't invest. In fact, the monkey was able to make as much money as the people on Wall Street, right? So ultimately, I would encourage you, if you're not investing consistently, then you're going to kind of get left behind. Inflation is out of control. Workers' wages are going down. It's only going to get worse with technology. There won't be adequate regulation to slow this down. Your politicians will be bought and paid for. They're already lobbying with these people to tell them, oh, forget about the workers. Just let our robots come in. And next thing you know, you're going to see robots kind of everywhere doing a lot of stuff that human beings used to do. Driving cars, like driving a taxi. I predict that in 10 years, a human being will likely not be driving me in a taxi, right? That's what I believe, right? And somebody says, stop using scare tactics. We'll adjust and survive like usual. I do agree with you. I'm going to adjust and survive. A lot of you are going to adjust and survive. But give me a yes or no. Do you think that the majority of the Black community is going to adjust and survive? Like, do you think that most Black people are going to be ready for this? Or what about those people who train their children to get things like factory jobs? Remember back in the day when you used to try to get a job at Ford, and they would have like a lever and somebody would like pull the lever on it. I had an auntie who had a job like that, and all she did was she pulled a lever all day long, and she had carpal tunnel, and she got money because pulling the lever all day messed up her elbow. And do you really think that job's going to be available in 20, 30 years? You think that elbow job is going to be available? No, it's not. No, a lot of our people are going to get left behind. Technology is not necessarily the first thing that we're talking about in our households over dinner. Investing is not the first thing we're talking about. So it doesn't mean that everybody's going to get left behind. A lot of people are going to adjust. In fact, some people are going to thrive. Some people are going to have businesses that make more money than ever, because then they don't have to deal with human beings or hire people anymore. Those individuals are going to be fine. What I'm talking about are people that, if you are not adjusting to this, like even if you have a child that's going to be an engineer or a computer scientist, and they're not fully understanding which skills are valuable and which skills are not, then what can happen is they can end up investing a lot of time learning a worthless skill. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to know the difference. Like a lot of us think that you get paid on your job because you work. You don't get paid for work. Nobody pays you because you work. Nobody pays you because you spent a lot of time doing something. I could sit here and I could count all the tiles in the ceiling, and it would take about a year for me to count every single crack in the ceiling. And then I could say, I worked really hard. I spent 3,000 hours counting the cracks in the ceiling. I should get $50 an hour. And people look at me like I'm crazy because I pretty much spent all my energy doing something that didn't add value. People don't pay you for work. People pay you for the value that you bring to the table. Why do you think Will Smith can go and make one public appearance and make more money in 5 minutes than a lot of people can make working for 5 years? Well, it's because he's getting paid for the value that he's bringing. He does a McDonald's commercial, people buy more cheeseburgers or whatever, right? So ultimately, make sure your kids understand that it ain't just how hard you work. It's the value that you bring. And I see a lot of people that go into the labor force with that mindset, like, oh, well what's my job? And am I going to get paid? And they want to get paid, and they want to get paid to do their job. And they're not thinking about whether or not that job is actually adding value. And then when the boss lets them go, they're surprised, they're shocked. But really, at the end of the day, you should understand how the work you do helps the people that you're either partnering with or working for to succeed and make money and achieve their goals. If you're not doing that, then they're going to let you go and replace you with a robot. Especially given the human beings, we get mad. We want to be treated a certain way. We don't want to be talked to a certain way. We want to be able to have breaks, and we want to unionize and make more money. And that's fine. We deserve all those things. Robots don't. Robots are worse than what we have with immigrants. Hey, no, I'm not saying they're worse than immigrants. I don't think immigrants are bad people. But when you saw masses of immigration, what happened? A lot of those jobs Black people used to have disappeared and went to people from other countries. Well, and then you had a lot of higher level jobs, management jobs, engineering jobs that normally might have gone to Black people in the company diversity program that suddenly went to engineers from India. Now you're going to have the robots coming in. That's the third level of immigrants. And that's going to be a massive wave, infinite supply of people. And they're going to come in, and any job that is a thoughtless job, any job that doesn't require a lot of thought, it's gone. Most jobs that require a lot of thought will be gone too. That's the crazy part. They can even do the creative jobs, and they can do the mundane jobs, right? That's really kind of crazy. The dangerous jobs, they're gone, right? So just be thoughtful, be mindful of that. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm almost done. At the end, I'll give you some stocks that I bought to prepare for the AI boom. I'm investing consistently for my family because when the AI thing takes off, I want to make sure we're making money. Also, if you want to come to the Black Wealth Bootcamp in Los Angeles, we're going to be there for 2 days. We're going to cover my new book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. Just go to boycewatkins.com. You can get a pass. Bring your family, bring your baby mama, bring your child, bring whoever you want to bring. I will teach you, and I will make sure you're transformed when you walk out that building. Thirdly, if you want to educate your kids on economics, teach them how to be bosses and leaders and job developers. We develop financial workbooks for children that are very good. They cover every single grade band. They cover investing. They cover stocks. They cover entrepreneurship. So feel free to go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. All right. So the last piece I'm going to throw in, the last couple of jobs I saw that would be replaced by AI, and there's many others. This is not an exhaustive list, is traders, stock traders. Stock trading is very formulaic. It's very easy for a computer to replicate it. In fact, stock trading is better done by a computer because a computer is going to be disciplined. One of the things, here's the thing. Part of my dissertation at Ohio State was on investor psychology. And one of the things about investing is that investing makes people nervous. It makes people crazy. It makes people human. It makes people greedy. It makes people impatient. It makes people fearful. It causes all these human emotions. And what these human emotions do is they make you into a bad investor. Like, so for example, when the market starts crashing, especially Black people, because we're so heavily traumatized, we run away. We run away like a bad relationship. Like when you ever see somebody that's had their heart broken a bunch of times, whenever the relationship gets bad, what do? They put on their track shoes and they out. I got to go, right? Same thing happens with investing. If you've been financially traumatized, then when you see the market start to decline, you freak out and you run. And then what happens is people who are more patient, who have a longer term perspective, come along and they buy your stock really cheap. And then you're trying to come back in and buy it when it's expensive. But no, you shouldn't you should have held on to it, and then you would have actually had the value. That's how they got you through gentrification. They bought your property when you didn't want it, and now they've made it into something beautiful. Now you're moving back and you're overpaying for the rent. So anyway, robots don't have that issue. Robots are not gonna get scared. Robots are not going to worry about the emotional pros and cons of a decision. They're not gonna get impatient. They're just gonna do what the algorithm programs them to do. And a lot of artificial intelligence is already incorporated into trading. It's gonna get incorporated more, and pretty soon, a big chunk of Wall Street trading and really trading all around the country is going to be done through AI, right? Because a lot of the work that it takes to analyze stocks and trends and patterns and candlesticks and whatever else people are paying attention to, robots can do that better than people. So that's something that is going to be affected. And the last thing they mentioned was graphic design. Well, that's obvious. We talked about that. I mean, robots can create, they can create a Da Vinci or whatever it is, like, or Van Gogh, and and just whatever. So AI is coming. I would encourage you to follow the trend. I promise you guys, I'll give you some stocks that I like, that I have bought that will take advantage of this trend. Two stocks I'll name is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a company that I have owned for a while. NVIDIA was a gangster stock in my portfolio. I think it was one of the best performers in my portfolio last year. I am buying more shares because NVIDIA makes the best AI chip of any computer company out there. NVIDIA is on top of everything right now. NVIDIA is looking like a superstar. So maybe on a day where it rains a little bit, maybe when the market goes down sometime this week, it went up a lot today. So maybe next week you'll see a dip. In that dip, I'm going to buy me some more NVIDIA. The second one is a company called C3 AI. C3 AI, the ticker symbol is AI. They sell software as a service. And that's an interesting thing. Service-based businesses they tend to have an easier time having higher profit margins and not so much, overhead and inventory and all that. So C3 AI is another company that I like. Now, there are other companies as well. I made a list for you guys. So if you go to my website, boycewatkins.com, there is a list of stocks that I predict are going to do very well during the AI trend. I don't own them all right now, but these are stocks I'm adding to my portfolio because when AI takes over, which I know that it will, I want to be right there waiting. Here's the thing. To get rich in investing, you don't chase money. If you ever want to get rich, never chase money. What you do is you position yourself to take advantage of the future. You position yourself properly, and then what happens is the money will chase you. That means when the money arrives, when the money gets to where you know it's going to go, you just stand in the spot, and then the money just comes right to where you're already standing. So what I'm doing now is I go buy all the stocks that I know are going to benefit in the future, and then I just sit on them like a goose, just sitting on some eggs, just waiting for them to hatch. And then eventually, when everybody else figures out what we were talking about back in 2023 and 2026, or whenever it happens, then suddenly all the money's there and you're already positioned to take advantage of that. So again, feel free to go to boycewatkins.com and take a look. And again, nothing's guaranteed in investing. I want to make that 100% clear, but these are 9 stocks that I really like in terms of AI. So feel free to go take a look at the list at my website, boycewatkins.com. Also, last but not least, don't forget Black Wealth Bootcamp, Los Angeles, March 10th. 2 days. Feel free to join us. Just go to my website, boycewatkins.com. The information is there. My new book is called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. And there's a lot of information on my website that can help you become a better investor. We have no excuse. We have all we need. I just want you to think about your future and think about what you want. And if it is my goal to help you get what you want. So if you don't want it, then I don't want it. But if you want it for yourself, then don't worry. I will do everything I can to help you get there. So anyway, take care, guys. Have a good night. God bless you. And I'll see you soon. Take care now. Peace.